set up Shady. Bump it on through. Down we go. Express. Stays back. Hell, playing their competition a little bit. Jules! Whoa! That was insane! Last season, both of them had experience on the international stage. And there it is. Showcasing from Portos. We might have a series. You see me. Have to do with CJ who's taking the ball. Oh my god! What a day! Welcome back to League Play Week 3 of Rocket League. My name is Hysterics. I've got Korea Law in the middle now and Yummy Cheeseman over on the right. We're proudly supported by Macca's, where the Monopoly game at Macca's is back. 1 in 5 will instantly win. And I tell you what, I would not have expected those odds to come through because Conspiracy, Scylla, those 1 in 5 odds, paying off.
Scylla, I think, was bit of a closer matchup than we expected.
Yeah.
But Conspiracy taking down Legacy after taking down Chiefs, after taking down Pale Horse, bam.
So Conspiracy better than Chiefs confirmed.
Hang on, that's my logic. Yeah.
Yeah, I used some Hysterics logic there
because
to say that Conspiracy are the best team in OCE
Yeah,
right now.
transitive properties.
Because Conspiracy beat Legacy and Legacy beat Chiefs.
And then Chiefs beat Pale Horse, and Pale Horse beat Jam.
That means that Conspiracy are better than everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
What a
All
conspiracy.
right, let's get back to this game.
So we're going into the next series, and of course it is Noizee and Toxic taking on Chiefs. Now Chiefs have been still dominant as we expect in the championship series so far. Apart from a couple of series that I think we've seen the old sort of off-season Chiefs coming back in.
They haven't been as dominant as we saw last season. They're not that team that wins everything. Well, they're not the team that we saw that had Drip A as the golden striker scoring just ridiculous numbers of goals. They've been a little bit off. They haven't had the same rotations. So they're the championship team. They're the team that proved that OCE were a region to mess with, or weren't a region to mess with.
Yep.
And now they're not at that level. And it's not even that Chiefs are bad. It's that everyone else has got so much better.
Yeah, the gap's been closed a lot, which is a large factor of it. And I think for Noizee, this is their time to strike if there ever was one against Chiefs, because they've come off that loss against Legacy. They don't have that consistency you'd normally see. They shouldn't lose to Legacy if it's Chiefs at their best. And because of that, this is Noizee's best time. They've been improving. Their matches last week were better than the week before.
And we've seen Regals come in, and he's going to be here today as well as the sub. And he seems to fit in really well with Zest in particular, and it's made them have opportunities to be able to get good striking against top teams.
Yeah, I think Noizee and Toxic could just take the flow of the day and create another upset here. And we have seen the improvement of this squad throughout the league play so far, and we've seen how Noizee and Toxic can really take it to some of these teams. The individual skill on this team has been really high.
Yep.
I think them just coming together as a team like Chiefs, like Scylla, Pale Horse.
That's what we're lacking. We're lacking some real cohesion in this team, and they've got week after week, but I'm not seeing them in many of the community tournaments and many tournaments outside of that.
Yep.
So they have to be scrimming if they want to be up and ready to take on a team like Chiefs.
But the fact they took a game off Jam, like they opened up strong last week, does give me a little bit of hope. And the fact there were 2 hours before the show, like the qualifiers went live, that they came into it, their improvement is just going to get stronger. And the team we see this week may not be the team we saw last week.
If there was ever a time to take down the Chiefs, so for Noizee and Toxic, this is the week. Not as dominant as the last season, but more dominant than the off-season, so you kind of hit the bar in between. Yummy, is it enough for Noizee and Toxic to take this, or, I mean, what's a better way to put it?
Well, I'm not going to rule Noizee and Toxic out, but
Especially
Chiefs have the international experience. They've been that dominant team. They're still the returning champions,
Of course.
and I have to go with them. And I think Noizee will take a game.
That's fair. Korea.
No, I'm in the same boat. I think a 3-1 in favor of the Chiefs is how it'll go, but I think that's a testament to how well Noizee are playing.
Okay, so taking one game, I had to bundle on, even after today's upsets, I just circled Scylla and Conspiracy, why didn't I? Why didn't I? But I think for this one, it's going to be very, very different. A team versus 3 players is how I'm looking at this one. And I think Chiefs have just really impressed in certain series so far. Looking for them to take it once again and pretty much shore up any weaknesses that they've had at the start of this season and make sure they go to that top 4.
I think Chiefs really want to win. They need to win.
They do.
They're perfectionists. They want to win every single series. They want to win every single game. And this is one that they have to win up against Noizee and Toxic.
Let's expect the win here from Chiefs, but upsets have come through before. We're about to jump into our last series of the day. Remember, only 4 series today, unfortunately. We're going to say bye to Yummy in a second, who is apparently a dongle. However, that was last week. Yeah, that's right.
And for those in the chat who don't get that joke, don't worry, it's just hysterical.
It's just me making in-jokes until everyone understands that...
that you're a dongle.
I'm a dongle. Dongle's a good way to put it. Here we go. Last series of the day, Noizee and Toxic versus Chiefs. And I was going so well today. No memes, no dreams, but I just had to blow it there.
Lots of support for the teams, though, and that's what we need. Everybody here getting a nice little cheer from the desk.
Getting amongst it. Their career would have been the better way to put it, you know?
I was going for the rhyme.
Okay, that's fine. Going for the mime. God, I hate myself. Chiefs are... I mean, their off-season wasn't impressive. We take this time to reflect at the start of the game. Their off-season wasn't the greatest, but here we go. This is more of the play we like to see. Finding openings of Noizee and Toxic.
I don't think they found that opening, though, Hysterics. They had that double backboard hit, potential Devo, and there was no follow-up from the rest of their team. This is something we expect to see from Chiefs, who are the orange team, despite what the labeling says.
I wanted to point out as well, this new meta of demolitioning, of bumping, getting very aggressive. I mean, maybe Noizee and Toxic take full advantage of that. Chiefs have been a very up and down squad throughout the last 2 seasons. Noizee and Toxic can use this disarray, the new patch, demolition. It's so much easier than before. I'd like to see that coming through.
I agree. It's a valid point. When Pale Horse first came into the competition, as new fresh blood, they used demolitions and bumps to get the advantage against the teams that had strong rotations. And with this new patch coming through, Noizee doing the exact same thing could be their route to success.
Just notice Zest also has changed to the Octane away from the Batmobile last week. Unless I'm getting my cars mixed up, but I'm probably not, despite popular belief. Chiefs haven't found their first goal yet, so it's a good hold, but there's a shot onto goal. Zest will not get that kick away. Instead, Drippe, it sets him up. Jake's there off the backboard, not finding the drop down. Torsos, everyone just jumping up. And the aerial control from Chiefs, not as clean as we normally see it.
A little bit of miscommunication there from Noizee isn't Toxic on the defense, but still enough to get them through for the moment as their saves come in one at a time.
Not a clean game so far from the Chiefs. Game number 1, there it is. I take it all back. A great goal to start from Torsos.
And we expected them to do this as well, and they have not let us down. Torsos passing it back to himself, opening up that goal. Classic play.
This should be routine as well. We do have to just swap those scoreboards up the top there for you, ladies and gentlemen. But Noizee and Toxic being on the blue side, Chiefs being on the red. Chiefs, despite popular belief up there, will actually score that first goal, and it's a good start for them and an expected result. We are thinking that they should take this team down, and there's the start as well. Torsos will get another.
As expected, the follow-up coming through. This is a game the Chiefs would be confident going into. They are the returning international champions. They're coming against the new wildcard teams, and they've had the school holidays to practice.
They have to.
Yeah.
It's been a good start of the week. You know, you can sit at home, you can make your muffins, and then you can sit down and realize we're going to start scrimming some Rocket League, boys. Life cannot be more intense.
I'm more of a pancakes in the morning
I
kind of
actually
guy.
hate muffins. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
Nah, go to Macca's, get those pancakes, get the syrups going. That's what you want.
Man, that's some good breakfast. Noizee and Toxic struggling a little bit in this first game. Chiefs have found their 2 goals, and they're just kind of playing with it now. And time's all they need. No control really coming from Noizee and Toxic. And I mean, the way they take this series is unexpected. Is blow a hole in Chiefs.
Yeah, they need Outlast to do some crazy big plays on his own. Solo plays is where it's going to be at, because beating Chiefs at the team play and getting in and passing is not going to happen.
Well, I think Regals is going to try and do some work here. A player who's impressed us in the past couple of weeks. Well, past week really, because he only came in last week, but Regals was that player there, Korea, who, against Conspiracy, we're like, hey, this guy is playing exceptionally well. Against the Chiefs, it's going to be a different story. It's not a team like Conspiracy Esports, not a newer organization coming into our Rocket League Championship Series. It's not our OCE Championship, sorry. it's not a team that you can just walk over. The Chiefs have been constituted for a while now. One of our top teams in OCE. They've been international, and every single time the story goes that to take it against the Chiefs, you have to be providing something special.
Yeah, they are the international team. If you can beat them, you're on track. You are part of the Power 6 now, just as Legacy did before. And now if Noizee can get this win, that counts as doing that big success and proving you have the potential, not just the wild cards coming through.
45 seconds remaining, and Chiefs Esports are pretty much controlling this game. You can see that every single time Noizee touched the ball, it's responded by Chiefs. But they can't get the ball through.
They just live in their half. Chiefs is like, this is our game. It may take us a while to get these goals, but we're just going to keep trying.
There's a good touch from Zess and a good shot in retrospect as well, but 20 seconds remaining. Not going to give them enough time here, and the way Chiefs have been playing, it's going to be an easy closed out game number 1. One that they can get the feeling for and maybe take away this series.
I think demos is definitely the path they're going to have to take. Abuse this patch. Yeah. That's how you need to beat them, because they are so confident with their team play that you can't beat them in passes. You have to disrupt them to get that advantage.
Number 3 will just slot that in for Torsos. And all of our series today, Korea, they've been close. I mean, excuse me, against Avant, Jam just took it away.
Yep.
Conspiracy, we've just come through 2 best of 5s that have gone to all 5 games. This is a break one for these guys. This is a series that we can really look at the expected result and say, yes, this is more realistic now more than ever. Game 1 will go to Chiefs. We'll see how we go with our expectations throughout.
Yeah, polarity has been the nature of today. It's either been sweeps or super tight overtime game 5s. There's no in between. And I think for Noizee, that's not going to be going so well.
I mean, they didn't get much possession there. You'd have to look at like the hold from Chiefs. 60, 70% there, just finding the better touches, kind of playing around with the aerials. They get 3 goals, and it did not look hard.
Yeah, that's the Chiefs' way. They just kind of circle around you, and eventually they get the goals. It's just a matter of time. I don't think Noizee had any real substantial opportunities to get the goals. The Chiefs just wasn't letting them have.
So Chiefs, they need this series win indefinitely. This puts them forward, and this kind of, I mean, sets them up for the next couple of series as well. To get in that top 4, every series win counts. However, it's kind of how you win the series. A 3-0 looks better on paper than a 3-1.
Yeah.
If it comes down to that tie, it could be the difference between you getting into our PAX finals, into our top 4, and you missing out simply because you didn't have a good performance against some of the other teams.
Yeah, Chiefs currently isn't top 2. Like, if we stopped now and said, who's going to RLCS? Chiefs wouldn't make it, which would be a huge upset because they're the international forerunners that beat NA for us. So they need to get these wins, and that is because they don't have the games. They've got the number of match wins, but their game scores aren't high enough. So a 3-0 now is what they need to bump up from like equal 5th position all the way to 1st.
And we give compliments to Noizees and Toxic to pick up at least a game. The first game is never that strong from a team. I mean, Legacy kind of changed my opinion of that today and last week.
Noizee took out Jam first game last week.
That's right. And we were like, whoa, what's going on? So is it a case of just Chiefs locking down their play? I seem to think so here, because there's the shot. Regals doesn't even go for it.
Yeah, it's a hard life. Torsos doesn't want you to get it. You're not going to get it anyway, so why fight it?
Yeah, Regals had to turn around, not in the right position. Torsos locks it in. First goal for Chiefs within 17 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to be quietly confident. They are the Surgeon Generals of this game. They're fast when they want to be, slow when they don't, and methodical the whole time.
It's really been in development for Noizees and Toxic throughout. I think the story goes that Noizees and Toxic, they made it to top 8. Straight away, they can be happy. They're versing good teams like the Chiefs, who can adapt on the fly, who have been to RLCS. This creates a better team, and this also changes the players. Noizees and Toxic right here, they've left a goal open. The touch doesn't come through. That should have come through, but Torsos will clean it up anyway.
Yeah, rotations are too clean. The follow-up will always be there for Chiefs if they make a mistake on the first touch.
Drippay just flies through. Great response. I think Regals is either AFK or just tilted.
Well, his car was definitely tilted.
Yeah. No, Regals is there.
Which is a shame, because Regals came out of nowhere last week into our league play and did a fantastic showing of how much potential he has, and I want to see more of him performing at that level.
And Chiefs are just pushing the ladder here. Noizees and Toxic stuck in a corner. You can see that it's kind of like Noizees and Toxic don't know what to do. They can't read the Chiefs. They've just got the experience on them, and it is you know, you would say an unfair matchup, but Noizees and Toxic have the opportunity to take at least a game here. They've got so much potential in all of their players. They just have to get past the Chiefs.
Yeah, the adaptation, I think, will be their downfall, though. Because even though they may be able to take that one game, Chiefs, just like Jam, is going to adapt to their playstyle and banger! Ooh, that is a hat trick.
That was nice. Watch this one again, ladies and gents. This is how the Chiefs do it.
I love a good corner pass.
Yeah, nice nut for a walk. Chiefs are 3 goals ahead again. This is game 2. This is looking like a Chiefs-dominated series.
Taking them straight back to the top of the ladder as well. They're going to be happy.
They should be. This should, like I said, Korea, this should be an expected win in this series. Chiefs need to find their form back in, and so far, as Yummy was saying, it hasn't been a dominated league play by the Chiefs. They haven't been dominant whatsoever. They've been another one of those teams like Legacy and Scylla who are just there to kind of cause commotion, and they should be picking up these wins. But you just never know at the moment with the Chiefs' performance.
Yeah, the loss against Legacy was a huge upset.
Yep.
If you told me they were going to lose to Jam or Pale Horse, I'd be like, yeah, fair game.
Oh, nice.
But losing to Legacy, that blew me away.
This is just Chiefs' highlight reel. Look at Jake take this around the wing. Corner, nosedive. Noizees and Toxic. Balls are just getting past them, and Chiefs are just finding their openings and securing more.
Yeah, pass 1, pass 2, and through.
Away we go. Chiefs looking so commanding in game 2 as well. Just not having a bar of it. Noizees and Toxic unable to find any positioning.
It's a tough break. The thing you have to consider as well, the Chiefs players, whilst they may be a cohesive unit and Noizee picked up some great solo players, everyone on Chiefs' team was originally made of top 1v1 ladder players.
Yeah.
So even if it comes down to mechanics, Chiefs have most people beat.
And the Chiefs have been a team for a while. Let's not forget the experience that comes into this game. Noizees and Toxic, they've put themselves together. That's a nice touch. Denying the first goal. Outlast. He's going to set up for Regals. Noizees and Toxic finally look like they're switching on. This is their first aggressive play. They will not find the goal, but it means that we have some life from Noizees and Toxic.
But the perfect goal saves are always going to be there from Chiefs, and it's their undoing, unfortunately. But it is great to see Noizee switching on because they're not out, and even if they can't pull this win, Hysterics, at the end of the day, the prize pool goes to everybody. 8th still gets $1,000, and every win you get after that increases your salary.
But you want more. Every team wants more, and it's not enough to take that 1,000. You want finals. You want RLCS. For a team like Noizee and Toxic, maybe it isn't realistic for them anymore, especially in this series, but they want to be creating these upsets. They want to be developing throughout each and every series. Chiefs are walking over them at the moment, and I have to say, it looks like Chiefs are just taking the life and blood out of Noizees and Toxic.
Yeah, so I think for Noizee, will be controlling the narrative going forward, being that dark horse that upsets who makes it all the way, whilst also bolstering their pockets with all that prize money they get for taking out teams in the future.
I think they can definitely create that upset. Whether it's in this series or not, we'll have to find out in game number 3, but Noizee not having a response whatsoever to the Chiefs, and going into the next week of league play, we have to look ahead and we have to say, what does this win mean for the Chiefs? Well, it means they push themselves up. They look at teams like Jam again. You know, they see Legacy. They're not going to be versing them again.
Yep.
I believe.
No, they're not versing them again unless they both make it to the finals.
They could. I mean, at this rate.
They definitely could. Legacy is playing reasonably well.
However, could be still that they verse. We don't know at the moment. That's the beauty of our league play. It's just back and forth. Chiefs, they score another one here. This is, again, a highlight reel for the Chiefs players. 6-0. 2 more goals, and they set the new record.
And it's great for their stats as well. As you can see on our website, we've now posted up all the players' stats. So if you have favorites that you want to check out on, you can go have a look. Go do some...
have a lock.
Go have a look.
Have a lock. Oh, no, this goal is open. Oh, saved. No, Outlast is like, you're not getting those 7 goals. We already had a record set today. I think it was Plitz who added to Bango's old record of 5 goals. I'm going to add those extra 10 shots in as well. Chiefs have 30 seconds to get 2 goals.
Definitely doable with the way they're playing today.
Yeah, it's dominant. It's aggressive. They've opened up the goal. Chiefs missing the shot. 20 seconds remaining. This is going to be good for morale right now for the Chiefs. A fun game for them. They can play it. They haven't let a goal in yet. And they are just looking so competent right now, saving another one. Noizees and Toxic just can't catch a break.
Yeah, the defensive rotations of Chiefs is what at home I'd like to highlight. They always get there just in the nick of time, going from that back post, getting the save without wasting any additional boost.
What a dominating series so far from the Chiefs. They'll take game 2 and in great fashion. One more necessary. Noizees and Toxic having a couple of shots there, but you can see goal after goal from Chiefs Esports Club. Noizee and Toxic, a team that's been put together of solo queue players. They are competent. They are good players. They got into our top 8. They took down some other orgs like Outlaws. Lynx didn't make it.
Yeah, those were 2 big ones. I put money on Outlaws and Lynx making it through.
Oh, you
or one of the 2.
You lost your money.
Yeah, rip.
Just like that.
Thanks,
Noizee. Toxic. Along with Conspiracy Esports, it's the first time they're getting into League play, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, for them, their biggest moment to rise, shine, and put up a fight. In this series, they are not. Noizee and Toxic really struggling to get to the ball there. And Chiefs are just having all this possession, and they're just putting on a showcase.
Yeah, and it's absolutely great to see. This is what they need coming off that loss against Legacy, revitalize themselves and push forward. But I think it's fair that if we look at Noizee's team and see how they played, Zest in particular, you're going against the team that went overseas. You're versing the international team that is steamrolling towards you, and he still managed to get 5 saves. That is props.
But it shows you how big this gap is between Noizee and Toxic, and even Conspiracy, or not anymore, I take that all back. Not between Conspiracy, but you see how big the gap is between a team like this, team like the Chiefs, Jam, Pale Horse, that upper 6, that even upper 7 now.
Yeah, welcome Conspiracy.
Noizee is left behind. They're outside of that bubble. Mm-hmm. They are not competing in league play. We need to see a lot more from them coming through, and being realistic, I mean, that gap is getting bigger and bigger in this series.
Yeah, I think just going against Chiefs, it's just a different ballgame. These guys are monsters. And if you're coming in with 2 hours before qualifier, throwing your team together and punching your way all the way through the lower bracket to make League, and then coming up against Chiefs, no shame.
But great individual talents from Noizee and Toxic, and they're putting on some bit of aggression there. Chiefs still playing with the ball around this corner. Regals is going to be the one to receive it, and Chiefs have quite a lot of time to work with here. A lot of fun for the guys, and see if Noizee and Toxic can take that one game. We did believe it at the start of this series. We all predicted that it'd be at least one game taken. Maybe Outlast with his individual goal, dribbles the ball. Denied by Drippe.
Yeah, Outlast is a great individual player. 1v1 ladder god going forward. So you can expect to see him go for these solos and hopefully pull his team forward.
Every time, Chiefs are just one step ahead. And Torsos proves that.
Yeah, great shot from the corner as well. Torsos is a monster. And for those who are out of the OCE scene and don't actually know him that well or his playstyle, he's a keyboard guy.
That makes all the difference. I love keyboard people. You don't need a controller to be good, Korea.
Yeah, okay. Torsos proves it. If you can get to RLCS with a keyboard, it's doable.
Everyone just missed the ball there. Noizee and Toxic still haven't scored a goal in this series. This is coming to be a pressing concern. That Chiefs are actually just going to roll over this. Set up, Torsos, goal! Nice. What a display coming through. Chiefs are putting on such a great performance, such a clinical cleanup.
I did love how Drippe had time to get the bump, as well as had time to pop it up to his teammates for the pass. Just great showing.
Well, Chiefs, nothing more really to say, but just getting their stat padding through. Series win here means so much for them as well. It just means that they keep up in those top spots. It means that for them, the chance of RLCS doesn't come to an end. Nor would it if they lost this series, but it would be a harder run for them. Look at this from Drippe. Lets the ball bounce, reads it well by Outlast, but Torsos is going to set it up again. Chiefs clinically putting this ball near the net. Noizee and Toxic, it's like they're scared at the moment. Chiefs are running rampant over this map.
Well, they are like sharks just circling the field, waiting for times to strike.
The field?
Yeah, field, the pitch.
What are sharks doing on the field?
It's an underwater one. It's
Sharks can... Yeah, I was about to say, like, sharks can't walk. Hang on.
I hate it when you're right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I just think, you know what I think of? I think of the dolphins from Simpsons. That, like, we were always on land. You remember that episode where the dolphins come up and take over? And, like, everyone has to go out to the sea?
Yeah, dolphins aren't nice people. So that is, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Also not people.
Filthy mammals. Chiefs are still controlling this game. The reason some of you at home may be sitting going, why aren't they talking more about the game? Watch the game, ladies and gentlemen. Chiefs are doing this. They're punching the ball, they're taking full control, and it is so well adapted by Chiefs each and every game. Thing is, they don't have to adapt too much though. Noizees and Toxic just struggling, saving ball by ball by ball until one eventually goes through.
It's difficult when you're stuck on defense for that long. The teams shooting at you are great shooters, and all the shots are just coming directly on, and eventually you're going to buckle because your clears aren't big enough because their rotations are always going to catch it.
It's stat padding. It is Chiefs just showing how dominant they are and the difference between skill of these two teams. Chiefs are working as that cohesive unit. And Noizee and Toxic, you feel like they're just hitting the ball, trying and hoping for the best result. No passes coming through, they just leave it. Zest tries to get in, Torsos is there, great touch, 1, 2, and 3 off the backboard, dribbling it. Outlast unable to find a success, and Drippe just hits it on through, and Chiefs are still controlling this game. I mean, there has been no goals scored by Noizees and Toxic. A crushing blow for that team.
At least their expectations weren't upset. They went in, they wouldn't have been expecting to pull a big win against Chiefs. Chiefs also expecting this win against Noizee, and they needed it, right? They had that loss against Legacy, which means they lost to a team they weren't expecting to. They need more buffers because they still haven't versed Jam.
But this is the morale for Noizees and Toxic, and it's just sunk because they haven't even scored a goal yet. Chiefs have just been walking all over them, and there's nothing more to say that, look, Noizees and Toxic, just to get one goal would feel so much better. But at the moment, they're struggling. Look, that's open. This is an absolute massacre.
At least you can get demos in the new patch and take your anger out on the opponent's cars.
I mean, this is what I do. When I miss all the balls, like, I'm running around. I'm garbage at Rocket League, by the way.
You're not a ball chaser, you're a car chaser?
I'm not yeah, I am. But then people learn how to jump, and I just look like an idiot who's just, like, tried to ram everyone. I'm that guy that gets angry, goes around the pitch, and starts ramming and getting all the demos. And Yummy's like, what are you doing? I'm trying to pass the ball. And I'm like, looking for demos, Yummy.
I'm the same guy, but I'm colorblind, so everybody's at threat.
So you get your own team.
Nobody is safe.
Let's add a new feature. Let's demo your own team.
Yeah, Team Attack is now on.
Team Attack. Friendly Fire, I'd call it. But
yeah, that's it. Friendly Fire. Team Attack.
Team Attack.
Sounds like a 90s cartoon.
Career, again, we're close to that 7 goals that Chiefs need to take out that equalizer of the most goals ever scored in our league play. Outlast. Trying to get the first goal for Noizees and Toxic. This is devastating right now to watch. Chiefs need 2 more goals. They take the record. Jake just goes flying past.
Hey, opportunities coming up. There's only 1 defender left for Chiefs. It's a chance to do the outplay.
Nope. Regals destroys Jake. There's the anger we talked about. Chiefs need 2 more goals. And a display from them so far has been on point. It's just been Chiefs clinically taking apart Noizees and Toxic. Look at this. Every single touch pretty much going to the way of the Chiefs.
Man, if Noizee were Toxic, maybe there'd be repercussions for taking them out.
Yeah, but he's not here, Courier, so it doesn't matter.
All these friendly teammates here. They're probably going to say GG and be nice afterwards.
Yep. From what was an expected at least 1 game and putting up a fight against the Chiefs. Now 6-0. 3 games in a row. Chiefs are going to be happy about this one, Courier.
And they need this win. As we said, every game matters. When they've done it!
Oh
yes!
my God!
Zest!
They're not back in the series, but they've got 1 goal. And your heart has stopped breaking for a second. Well done to Zest.
Couldn't have gone to a better man.
Said, look at that banner. He deserves it.
Oh, he certainly does. That defense he's been putting forward, all the saves that he's managed to get against that crazy Chiefs offense. I am so happy. Zest, you couldn't deserve it more.
Well, although it's only 1 goal, 6-1 at the end, they finally get their first goal, but Chiefs have to be happy with that performance. Expected result, but more so than expected, that was just a clean result, letting through 1 goal in 3 games career.
Yep, and again, Zest, congratulations, and good showing by Noizee. I mean, they didn't get the win, but they were going against such an impossibly hard team to beat that they still didn't play bad.
You can't expect that much from a series which is the longest running trio roster in all of OCE up against the newest one. And it's even newer because they were running a sub. So it's like a 1 week old roster up against an almost year-long roster.
Put that away. There's no watch there. I'm sick.
Oh, and also the international team that went overseas and beat NA versus the ones that are currently playing together for one of the first times last
For those
month.
out at home who are playing commentary bingo, I'm just happy because I have Torsos on my fantasy team.
Why are you playing commentary bingo?
Well, they play commentary